All right, Shalom. First off, I'm going to start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. All right, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahushai being the name of his only begotten Son. Giving double honor unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walk him throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is the brother Mashah, one of the men coming up under the branch out here in the Morn camp. You see the quick lesson? Just going into pretty much focus and being able to focus when you're listening to lessons and just being in the spirit when you're doing the work ultimately and really locking in. All right, because I know sometimes I know I'm not the only one, but sometimes Jake might deal with or if you're watching the lesson or something like that, you might get distracted and you might find yourself thinking about other things. And then like 5 to 10 minutes might go by and you didn't really take in what was said, and you might have to rewind and then and whatnot. Because I know personally that's what sometimes I deal with. So sometimes what I do, sometimes I'll pause the video, go do might look at something else real quick for a little bit, and then come back and restart again to start fresh. So kind of like brothers say, really tricking this flesh. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what inspired this lesson. Lord's will, I hope it's edifying. So I'm gonna start off with Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and 15, which it really explains. But Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 15, for the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things. All right, meaning what? To think upon many different things. All right, and being in this flesh, of course, it happens a lot. All right, you could be thinking about different things you might be having to worry about or deal with or do. All right, and then you're not fully focused in on the videos or the lessons that you're watching. All right, but ultimately, of course, we can overcome all things through Yahweh Bashim Mashah through prayer. Of course, like the scriptures say, nothing is too hard for the Lord. You know, but so from here, I'm gonna grab Matthew chapter 26 and verse 14. I don't think that's it. Matthew 26 and 41. And it reads, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right, so this flesh is weak. All right, your spirit is willing. All right, and wants to focus and lock in, but this flesh is fights against that. All right, because I believe, like Paul said, let me grab that real quick. This is Romans 7 and 22. I'm gonna start at 22. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man, right? In your mind, right? The spirit, right? Verse 23. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing into captivity the law of sin, which is in my members. All right. So what? It's this flesh fighting against our the spirit. All right. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. This Galatians chapter 5 and verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. All right, so what? This flesh is constantly fights against the spirit. All right, that's why when you want to watch lessons and you want to be in the spirit, all right, And I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes, like I said, sometimes this can be the case. All right, you find your this flesh being distracted by many other things. All right, but that's just that. It's just this explains what it is. All right, and like that Wisdom of Solomon 9 said, all right, just being in this weak flesh ultimately. All right, but so from here I'm gonna grab we read that Matthew 26 and 41. Right. It said, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. All right. So ultimately just praying to the Lord. All right. And ultimately trying and really locking in. All right. Because once again, nothing is impossible through the Lord. All right. Let's grab James 1. James 1, 5 and 6. James 1, starting at 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, and nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. All right, so it said, what? If any of you lack wisdom, okay? And it can be many different ways that it's applied, all right? Whether you want to be more attentive, all right? Listen harder, listen better, should I say? All right. Hey, just pray to the Most High and ask, okay? And the Most High will do it, all right? Whatever, once again, whatever is according to his will, all right? He will definitely do it for you, all right? So from here, let's grab Sirach. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 18. It says, Sirach 16:18, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom in till thine old age. All right, so speaking of wisdom, right, to gather this instruction, verse 19, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits, for thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. All right, but the point is what? Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. All right, so what? You got to really apply yourself in or we, should I say, all right, because I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. All right, we got to apply ourselves. All right, whatever you got to do. All right, whether it be pausing, okay, writing down the precept. All right, and then of course reading along. All right, and I'm not saying I don't do that, but it's just sometimes it just be you just be distracted sometimes. All right. I'm gonna jump down to 22. Well, 23, should I say? Sirach 6:23. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, refuse not my counsel. All right, so it's saying give ear, so listen attentively, right? And put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain. Bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. All right, so it's saying what? Be captivated with this truth. All right, with wisdom. All right, so you gotta that's what, locking in. All right, so what? You're a servant onto it, you know. So you're fully engaged and attentive and working. All right. So from here, let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 2. Starting at verse 1. So let me see what 22 is real quick. I'll read this first. Proverbs 22:17. It says, bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. All right, so we're saying what? Bow down thine ear. All right, so what? Listen closely and attentively. All right, and once again, like I said, like James 1 and 5 says, All we gotta do is just pray to the Lord. All right. Speaking to myself once again, first and foremost, and any other brother that might deal with this sometimes. All right, because I know that's how it be sometimes, Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge, for it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee, they shall withal be fitted in thy lips. All right. So what? It's a pleasant thing to take heed and to learn this. All right. So from here, let's go to Proverbs 2. Starting at 1. It says, my son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, so it's saying what? If thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. All right, so that's really what? Putting in that effort and listening, all right, and taking heed and meditating upon it. All right, whatever you got to do, write it down, read over it, all right, to allow it to stick. All right. And this is definitely, what I'm saying is definitely what I'm going to be applying myself. All right. Verse 3, yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures. All right, so what? If you seeking for her as silver, and searches for her as said treasures, so that's what? That's really digging in and getting into it like you trying to find some gold, all right, or as hid treasures, right? Meaning what? It's something very precious that you're working hard to find. Okay. Well, I mean, we already got it, but it's something that you're constantly just digging into. So, but I think that was pretty much the point. Really just going into focus and locking in. And really, like I said, the answer is ultimately like James 1:5 says, pray to the Most High that give it to all men liberally, whatever it is that you might be lacking on. All right. But that's pretty much the point. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walk Him, continuing to push and do the works in truth and sincerity. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.